Okay, thank you.
Sir,
Once again, good morning. Please raise your hand from the panel so I can answer your questions one by one, okay? Do not talk randomly. There is a raise hand feature in Zoom. Once you raise your hand, I can unmute you and you can talk, okay? Please don't talk at once. Now, Gamal is gonna talk, so I'm gonna unmute you. Yes, Gamal.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hello.
I just wanted to ask you, the midterm will be like what? Asking about what? The midterm, like
The
about
midterm will be obviously the topics that we covered so far. All of the topics so far that are covered will be included into your midterm. Every single topic that we covered in the videos. You can watch the videos on YouTube. I have been videos for some time. It will be a multiple choice quiz.
Like if I study the YouTube videos, it's like I have 6 videos left only, and if I watch them all, it will be like you finished the course.
This is where you are responsible too. Also, you need to look at the lecture slides. It's not only the videos that you are responsible, you are also responsible from the exercises I solve, the lecture notes, the lab sheets, everything that we discuss. Okay? I have been doing these online sessions for some time, and I know that in the other groups, the lecturers also did their job to their, until the very day that these groups are combined. So, and you can always access to those videos as well. So you are, yes, you are responsible to the last point of where the videos were recorded. But videos are not the only material you are responsible. You are also responsible from lecture notes, which are the PowerPoint slides, and also the lab sheets. Okay,
Sir, thank you.
You're welcome. Ashil, you can talk now.
Yes, sir. How about the timing for the midterm?
The time will be around 30 or 35 minutes, and I will ask you 20 questions.
20 questions?
Yes, 20 questions. Every single one of them will be multiple choice.
Multiple choice. Okay, yes. Thank you.
Welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, Christian, I will unmute you because he raised his hand. Christian, you can talk.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I think I had the same question with Kalam Bimondoka. My question is the question, it should be the multiple choice.
Yes, every single question will be multiple choice. Every single one of them, okay? And you will select one of the answers will be correct. I will give you 4 options, A, B, C, D. One of them will be correct, okay? You will pick up the one that is suitable to you and move to the next one. But there will be 20 questions, okay? And once the problem with the midterm is that it's not about the questions. The problem is, I think that you will only have one time to complete it. So make sure to pick up a time that your connection is absolutely okay. You don't have any problem. All right. So you can take up the midterm in one go. This is why I will make the midterm available next week at 10:30 and extend the period until probably around midnight. So you can take it up within that specific time period anytime you like. Okay?
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? If you have any, please raise your hand. Yes, I see some people. Prince, you can talk.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
So I wanted to know, besides the practice, like the exercises, the notes, the things that were said in the notes, are those like going to be included in the multiple choice?
Yes, they are. Especially exercises we solved, they should be included. Okay. Also, the exercises that I saw in my lab sessions, they are included as well. You should be able to see my screen now. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Right, I'm gonna look up the other participants now. Some people have questions. Anybody else who wants to ask a question? If you raise your hand, I can see you. Yes, Abdul Hamid. Yes, Abdul Hamid.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, now we want to ask, now we were in Dr. Fatma group,
Yes,
then now we all in the same group.
yes. This is an unfortunate case. Just to let you know that Fatma Hoja or me has nothing to do with this. This is not our decision. We actually stand against this. We wanted to keep the group separate, okay? But at the end of the day, I am not the person who is managing the university. I'm just a person who works there, okay?
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
one
so my question
reason
is
or
that,
the other, the university management system took this decision, so we have to follow it. But just so you know, this is not my decision, okay?
yeah, all right. I have talked to Dr. Fatma about that, and she give me this same information. But my question that, like, does the Dr. Fatma, like, have you explained you and Dr. Fatma in the same way? Like, I mean, have you finished the same thing together, same
Yeah,
chapters?
we did the
Like,
same
didn't
things
miss anything?
together. We did the same things together, and if you miss, even if you missed it, you can watch the videos that I recorded for you. There's a YouTube channel, as you can see. You just click on here, go to YouTube. It's not relying the university system, so you can access the YouTube anytime. So you will
Yeah.
just need to watch these videos up to the video 11, okay? 11 videos are there. You watch all of them, plus the materials that we already have inside in here. 1, 2, 3, 4 chapters. There are also lab sheets that you can look up and solve questions, okay?
All right, sir. And sorry, one more question. I have informed Dr. Fatma about that before, that for a student who don't have laptop to practice, what's gonna be their issue?
The thing is, gentlemen, when you join to an engineering class, you are expected to have a laptop, or this
Yeah,
is
I had a laptop, but I had problems, and I bought one online. Then the system, like everywhere, has locked out, so I couldn't provide any laptop again.
okay. I will offer you the option. I will extend this period to midnight, okay? But maybe you can borrow from someone to do the midterm next week and then give it back for 1 day. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work for you. Technically, you can access Moodle from your phone as well. You
Yeah.
don't have to have a laptop. Technically, you can download an app and you can access to Moodle. But that's not going to be very convenient for you, I guess. It's not the ideal way, but you can use Moodle on a mobile phone as well. It's not strictly limited to laptops, and you will be able to take the quiz on your mobile phone as well. It will be visible, okay, for sure.
All right.
But it's not gonna be the best. You will have to zoom in, maybe you will have to, look into a bit more. So I would suggest that if you have a friend that you stay with, or someone that you can trust, exchange the laptop within hygienic terms, of course, for 1 day. You do the midterm and you give it back. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Anyone else asking any questions? You will need to raise your hand so I can answer it. Okay? There are currently 60 people here. 56 participants, 59 right now. If you want me to answer your question, please raise your hand on the Zoom so I can see it. Yes, Kamal have another question. Yes, Kamal.
Yeah, sir. Can you like use C++ Droid in the phone? For the people doesn't have any laptop, they can use it like to program.
Can I do what?
Like use the application called C++ Droid.
No, I use Dev C++, which is my open source environment. Okay, you are not supposed to code in C++ on a mobile phone. You are supposed to do it on a computer. All right, this is how you should do C++ programming properly. I am
No,
not
like
supposed to teach you
for
C++
people.
on a mobile phone. That is entirely up to you. If you want to prefer that platform, I would say nothing against it. You can use that platform, whatever platform you choose, but you cannot tell me which platform to use. It is essentially my choice, not yours. Okay?
No, no, sir. Like for the people doesn't have any laptops, so they can use this one. It will be like
Okay,
properly.
that's absolutely fine. If you want to use that, I'm absolutely okay with it. And if you want to
I'm
share it
using
with
that.
others, just send a message onto the group. You know, there's a group chat. Send the link there and they can download and see it. Okay?
Oh,
Send the
okay.
link to the group chat option in Zoom. There is a group chat option. Send the link there so they can download the application. All right?
Okay. Okay, sir.
Thank you. Right. Any other questions? I am also recording this session, by the way, so you'll be able to watch it later on. Any other
Excuse me,
questions?
doctor.
Yes.
What about the lab?
What do you mean, what about the lab?
uh, I mean, like, uh, uh,
Okay, think
normal
about it
class,
before
but
asking the question. Okay, think about it. I'm sure you're gonna come up with your own answers. Right now, I want to do a topic that will show you the next part. This topic that I'm gonna do today is not gonna be included into your midterm. But it's going to be included into the second one. So not the first midterm, but the second one. And it is the second half of the loops. So last week I have done loops. Those who attend to my lectures regularly, they know that I have done some stuff about loops, and these are also uploaded on Moodle. Sorry, YouTube. So if you actually look at the videos, I come to the end of the while and for loop. And we also talk about infinite loop and the bad practice. Now, what I'm gonna do about today is to go into the subject of nested loops. So this is where I'm gonna start, okay? Slide number 17 in lecture 4. So what are nested loops? Let's talk about it a bit more. Nested loop is a loop that goes inside another loop. What does it mean going inside another loop? It means that once you create a loop, you can also create another loop inside of that loop. Using this mechanism, it is possible to create dimensions in programming, which will allow you to iterate certain elements in a two-dimensional way. This means that whenever you want to store your data or whenever you iterate your data in a table-like structure, it will give you an edge, which you'll be able to iterate it through a two-dimensional format. However, there are some things that you should know when you use nested loops. The nest means that the two loops goes inside one another. Technically, you can put more than two loops. You can have 3, 4, 5, and each time you do so, there is a new dimension coming into place. But the most common format of nested loops you will see is that the two loops going one another. There are some rules that you should be aware of when you deal with nested loops. The first one is that the inner loop runs once the inner loop runs, it cannot go back to the outer loop. So once you are in the inner loop, there is no way for you to go back to the outer loop. Each time the program comes back to the outer loop and goes to the inner loop, the program starts from its initial state, which is another important point. So once the inner loop finishes, go back to the original place and comes inside again, it will start from its default value. In most cases, this is 0. And finally, the program stops only when the nested loops, actually the outer one, finishes. So when we look at this, how can we write it? I'm going to show you how to write nested loops and what does it mean to nest two loops. So I hope you can all see my screen. And what I'm going to do in here is that I'm going to save this program first into my program file and call it nested loops. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually write the standard statements. IOStream using namespace integer name. Now that I have written this, you can also return 0. I want to ask a question up above so we can try to answer it. Write a complete C++ program that will display the multiplication table of numbers from 1 to 5. So we were asking this question to display the multiplication table of these numbers from 1 to 5. So this doesn't mean that you're going to list numbers from 1 to 5, but every other number should be multiplied. Every number, every whole number, so let's say whole numbers from 1 to 5 should be multiplied. How can we do this? Now we're going to learn that part. So what's going to happen in here is that we're going to create two loops. To create the first loop, I'm going to define an I value. You can also call it the value A and value B. Now, one of the most important things you should know is that the loops that you create is actually should be for loops. So nested loops are created via for loops. It is very rare, very rare that you see any other loop being used as nested. So majority of the time, I would say 90%, if you're gonna deal with nested loops, the loop structure that you're gonna see is the for loop. The reason for this is that the for loop is very compact. It means that you can actually combine the statements, so you can see that everything in one go. Where things are distributed in the while loop, so you initialize a statement, for example, up above. Inside the loop, you define the condition, and then you increase or decrease it. These are done all together in for loop, which is the main reason why for loop is preferred to do the nested loop structures. So you can start from 1, since the question tells us that it will start from 1, and we can go up to 5. And we can increase the value 1 by 1. However, when we do this, it will only show the numbers from 1 to 5. So we can put in here and try to show these numbers if we want. But doing so will only allow us to see the numbers from 1 to 5. It's not going to show us, let me just make this smaller. It's not going to show us a multiplication table like it's indicated in the question. So this is not in our favor. We don't want this. We want a multiplication table so we can see the results. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 in here, as you can see, but it doesn't show us anything other than that. We don't want this structure. We want a multiplication table. How can we show a multiplication table? First of all, because the numbers are from 1 to 5, we need to make sure that 5 is included. Second of all, we need to make sure that another dimension exists here. Right now, the for loop only generates u. You can see that the for loop only generates u. The numbers in between 1 to 5 in the y-axis. We also need an x-axis where the numbers will be listed in here. So we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for the second one, 2 times 2, that should be 4. So the second one should be 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The second one should be in here. This one should be 2. This one should be 4. This one should be 6. This one should be 8. This one should be 10. And it goes like this. So basically 2 dimensions. One that will be the y, the other one that will be the x. So you can achieve this through using, as I told you, nested loop structures. So let's go and try to do this together. In order to create another loop inside, you're going to come down and create it. Now we know that we want to list all numbers from 1 to 5. So I'm going to define another variable here and call it b. This one will be b less than equals to 5 and b plus plus. Now each time you want to display this, instead of showing only a value, we're going to actually show a multiplied by b. So I will leave this in here because I don't want to only show a. And instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in here and say that I want to display a multiplied by b, so that you can actually show the multiplication. As you can see in the question, it wanted us to do the multiplication table. So that's what I want to show. So I'm going to stop and run it. It is not exactly how I want to display. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So far it is showing the multiplication, but not in the same way that I wanted. So we need still to do some changes. First thing that I'm going to do is to remove the \n. The reason for this is that I only want the \n to go to a new line whenever the inner loop finishes. Now, because you have two loop structures, we're going to call this one the outer loop and the other one the inner loop. There are 3 rules that you should know, and they are all written in your slides. So if we go back, this will make more sense now. Once the inner loop runs, the program cannot go back to the outer loop until the inner loop completes. So this means that whenever you run the program, you come here, a value is 1, go to a new line. Now b value is 1, then this statement should finish before you go back up and check another condition. So when b value is 1 and b is less than 5, it will go there. It should be 1 multiplied by 1. Then once this finish, it doesn't go back up there. It doesn't go here. It stays in there. So each time this is executed, it should stay on that specific point. Once this is done, it will go up again, and this time this will be 2. So basically the first value was 1, now it's going to be 2. So this one will be 2. 2 is still less than 5, so it will be 1 multiplied by 2. And that will be 2. Now when this is finished, the value will be increased again. And this will be this time 3. 3 still less than 5. So what's going to end up is 1 multiplied by 3. So as you can see, the a value never changes because it never goes up to the outer loop. It stays in the inner loop, so it continues until it reaches to that point. So it will be 1 multiplied by 4, 1 multiplied by 5, and it will then finish. Now, when this is finished, it will then go up and increase the value of A, which is going to be 2. And all these statements that you have written will start from scratch again. So the value of B will be 1 again. And this time it will do all these executions for A value 2. So 2 multiplied by 1, 2 multiplied by 2, 2 multiplied by 3, and so forth. When you run this thing now, you will see that it will show you the multiplication of these numbers. The only thing that I'm missing now is to give some space so I can see it in a more desirable way. So you can put a backspace, some space here each time you want to display it, so that the numbers are a bit apart from one another. When I run this thing, you can see now the multiplication table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so forth. So all numbers, all whole numbers, you see, all whole numbers that are from 1 to 5 are listed. 1 to 5, 1 to 5. You can see it from there that all whole numbers are listed. This is, you can see, the y-axis, and it is created by the outer loop, which is here, the 8th one. So this one actually goes there. The other loop, the B1, creates you the other one. So it creates you this one. So every one of these, from left to right, is created by the inner loop. Every one of these, from top to down, it's created by the outer loop. Hence, you have a table-like structure. Okay, this is how most two-dimensional data is dealt with, and this is the power of the nested loops. Now, I have only 5 minutes for this session to end, so I'm going to stop here and re-invite you to another one, because each session that I can arrange in Zoom must be 40 minutes. I cannot make it more than 40 minutes. That is the offer that they give for the free version. Do you have any questions before I stop this video and re-invite you? No. Okay. What I'm going to do now is to go back to Moodle. I will send you another Zoom invitation. I'm going to end up this meeting, and I will accept if you have any more questions, or I will show another exercise in the next part. So I'm going to end up this session now, re-invite you on Big Blue button. So let's go back to Big Blue button just to get the Zoom invitation, and I'll see you guys in 5 minutes.